Hello everyone, and welcome to the November channel updates. Black Shadow here, hope you're keeping yourselves fairly well. It's been an interesting month on my own personal life. A lot has happened, it feels like, in a very short space of time. Obviously, my journey as a competitive gaming referee has gone a lot quicker than I would have expected, and definitely quicker than I had planned. Not a bad thing as such, I'll talk more about that later. But channel-wise, it's been about Silent Hill 2 Remake. And as far as the extent of what we did do last month, we played Silent Hill 2 Remake. Thanks for the update, everyone. I'll see you next... No. Obviously, this was the big release coming out at the start of the month. I'm not going to go too heavily into my thoughts of the game. But all in all, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good spin. I think as a general game, I think it's pretty strong. I do think that perhaps there are some folks that are suffering a bit of survival horror fatigue, and when people have said to me, isn't this game kind of a little bit homogenous at times? I can't disagree. There are definitely things that sort of say the original Silent Hill 2 had that stands out, whereas maybe this one is very kind of, ever since, it's the Resident Evil 4 syndrome. Ever since that game came out, so many things have used that as a base system just because it works, but you do lose a little bit of individuality as you do, and that's just the way it goes. But that was what we did. We spent the month playing this pretty heavily. I also went and recorded a podcast with the Infinite Ammo Syndicate as well. And we went and talking about Silent Hill 2 Remake. That went for nearly 4 hours, but it was very, very good. And I think I was firm but fair as and when I needed to. Other thing we did do as well is finishing off Final Fantasy X-2. I managed to sit down for about a week. Not quite, but I managed to sit down to get the last few bits of that recorded and rocked and rolled. Very much enjoyed my spin for it, even if there was a bit of a stall in the end because of, life happening. But definitely had a lot of fun with the game. We're not done with Final Fantasy X-2, of course, as well. Get to that in a moment. But again, just a thanks to everyone who has helped to make Silent Hill 2 Remake happen. Thanks, obviously, to the folks over on the Patreon. /BlackShadow993, specifically Shane as well, who did sponsor the series as well, so huge thanks for that, as well as the folks as well over on the Twitch who contributed over the past several months to kind of help get the funds together so that we could do the series as well and getting it together for the PlayStation 5. So thanks to everyone who has helped with that. I'll get to Twitch more in a moment. So, what's the plan from here? Because I haven't really said what the plan was. And the reason I haven't really said what the plan was is that I didn't really know what the plan was. And given the rate of change in my own life over the past several weeks, I still don't entirely know. As far as the rest of this month, there are 2 things that I want to get done, at least before the end of the year. First, as I mentioned, is Final Fantasy X-2, and that is specifically the last mission. This was originally released in Japan as a bonus for X-2, the international version, in 2004, but was then made available to the HD Remaster. And it is a roguelike game set in the Final Fantasy X-2 universe as a official sequel to the game. It takes place a few months or so afterwards, and it revolves around, it's taking place through the Lutetia? War Garble Tower here. And you basically have to climb your way up to the top. But it acts as a roguelike. There is a ton of randomization in the things you fight, in the things you find, the dress spheres, that sort of thing. I have virtually no knowledge of this game whatsoever. I've basically never played it. But I'm very curious to see what it's like. I am very fond of a good roguelike as well. Folks on the channel will be aware of that. So the plan is to look to sit down and get this recording over the course of the next few weeks or so, and start cracking on with that. But YRP reunite after a few months separated to climb the tower. So we'll see what comes of that. There is one other thing as well that I do want to do, assuming it happens this year, which I assume it's going to, and it's something that has been talked about a couple times on my channel, and that is the upcoming remaster for Croc. This was first announced back at the end of August, I believe it was, that the original developers, Argonaut Games, will be doing a remaster for Croc, and that it is slated to come out, quote-unquote, this year. It's now the end of October, but it might be coming out as quite a, sort of pre-Christmas surprise. There's been some news in the past few days as well regarding the platforms it's going to be coming out, and it's coming out on pretty much all major platforms except Steam. Steam, for some reason, it's not going to be released on. I don't know why. Must be some sort of reason. It's available on PC via GOG, and GOG is really awesome. Do check out GOG. They've got lots of really cool stuff, especially if you're interested in like more retro style titles. GOG is a fantastic place for that. Usually, you can get some really, really good deals, and some of the stuff I've done on the channel I have gotten from GOG as well. But not going to come out on Steam here. But assuming that this game does come out some point in end of November, beginning of December, which is my guess, I will be playing and I will be recording and uploading this on the channel. Indeed, as well, I should make a note at this point as some degree of self-publicity, because I'm not very good at it. I did indeed do a series of Croc 1 in the halcyon days of 2016. A lot's happening then, but it's Croc is a game that I really, really enjoyed. Everyone knows Crash Bandicoot, everyone knows Spyro, and that sort of thing, but the kind of long-lost sibling of the lot is Croc. And to be fair, the first game, really good. I might be factually inaccurate in this name, but I would actually wager that Croc 1 might be like one of the first 10 video games I ever played. Legitimately. Really awesome. Great feels, music's fun, it's good platforming, fun puzzle solving, and indeed there have been some folks that have been watching this series and have been putting comments down as well, and I do appreciate that. This is definitely quite far back in the back catalogue. I also did do its sequel, Croc 2, a few years later, but this game is not quite so good. And it's really strange as well. This game actually had a really big advertisement campaign that kind of went out of it, like in 99 or 2000, where the hell this game came out. And it's really strange because like it had everything behind it, but the game just didn't. I don't know, something about it wasn't quite right. It's been a while since I've done this series. I also played the game blind, which maybe had a bit of an impact. But I still believe that there was some parts of the development cycle of this that were troubled. I feel that. I just feel it because sometimes there are just gameplay elements that just don't feel particularly fleshed out. There's one or two things that feel just completely unfinished in this game. And yeah, there was some things about this game I didn't particularly like. I'm sorry. This video kind of, I think it was this one that very heavily, somewhere around here, like my feelings on this game kind of turned, and I was like, I don't think this is that great. So watch this series with a dose of skepticism if you wish, but I would definitely encourage, especially if you want to see like the old Black Shadow, do go back and watch this. Just the video recording qualities wasn't as good as it is now, we'll say that. But yeah, so anyways, going back to the point, assuming this comes out before the end of this year, I will be playing and I will be looking to record it as I do and bring it up onto the channel. Now, while I do kind of want to promise more bits and pieces going, not just the end of the year, but going into the new year, the simple truth of the matter is I don't quite know where things stand, even at this exact moment. As I mentioned previously, I got a role as a competitive e-game referee here where I live, which is pretty darn awesome. And in the short 2 months that I've been there, I have been in the midst of investigations, and there's been some controversy, and I have been promoted. As of about a week and a half ago, and the contract starts that in November 1st, I have a promotion at the workplace, which is awesome. It came a lot faster than I was expecting. I didn't put my name forward for it. The company asked me, and they said, do you want to have an interview for this role? And I was like, okay, I guess so. And I have since gotten that, which is cool. However, it does mean there are going to be two things that are changing. I had gone back onto like a day shift for the time being. I'm going to be on nights going forward, which I knew that when I took the interview. But also it means that I will end up having a heavier commitment there as well. I don't know an exact what it's going to look like, but it's going to be kind of like, you know, I don't know at the moment. I don't know if it's going to be variable throughout the week. I don't know if some weeks I'll be doing more, some weeks I'll be doing less. At this exact moment in time, it has not yet been fully meted out, but the expectation is going to average about 4 shifts a week, and those are 12-hour shifts. So whenever I'm doing those shifts, that day is gone. So on average, 4 out of 7 days are completely just not available for anything else, because I ain't got time to do a whole lot else before, and certainly not after one of those. And that is the way that is. So it's difficult to know at this exact moment how much I'm going to be able to do outside of that, because obviously I have the YouTube channel. I also, of course, have the Twitch, and of course I do like doing the Twitch streams, but well, we didn't do a single stream in October, because I just haven't had the opportunity to. There's been so much going on. I was ill as well for part of it. The small amount of time that I had available has been spent either getting through something to a remake because it just came out, or it's been spent with family. It kind of sucks as well, because obviously we were pushing with September, obviously looking to get the Raffle up and running, and we do have about 24, 25 games or something of double steps to be played for the Raffle, and we haven't had a chance. There was one Tuesday we were hoping to get together, but there was a family emergency on both my side as well as Azumi's, which was pretty wild, so that fell through, and we do not yet have a date for when that is going to resume. And I don't know at the moment exactly when that's going to be. It's a shame, but yeah, certainly given last month and that a lot of the time that was spent available to do stuff was spent on doing something to a remake, it meant streaming had to just take a backseat, and that's what it's got to be. So we will get through the Raffle games. I don't know when or what days or exactly when. I would encourage you to join the Discord servers. I'll get that in the description below, and I will keep people up to date on streaming activities via that as soon as I'm aware. But at this exact moment, sitting in this chair, I don't want to speculate an exact date because I simply don't quite know. And that is where we stand here, basically, as far as this is concerned. Like, I can get this done. I can get this done. But as far as like sitting down for that and scheduling it, like normally we've done it on Tuesdays, but like I think I'm going to be in most Tuesdays now, most Tuesday nights. And it's not even previously where I would have like a shorter shift, would start like say at 10 o'clock at night, and I could at least stream from 5 to about 9. Like that's not going to be possible anymore. So and this has happened in the past as well. We've had periods where I've been able to do lots of recording and streaming, and I've had periods of time where I've not been able to do very much of that. And that has gone and to and fro every now and again, and we are just going to be going a bit into the latter at this moment. So it's kind of one of those that once we get into the new year, certainly, I will have a far better understanding of where things, A, stand, and B, will be standing looking forward. I have a feeling that there is going to be some change in 2025 on a variety of bits and pieces, but could just be random mullings on my part. And of course, I also have to bear in mind, I do also have another YouTube channel that I'm involved in with hidden assets and to do Imperium content, and that is also going to be probably picking up in the new year as well. So it's a difficult balancing act for me, and it's something that I've just got to work out what I'm going to be able to do and what level of commitment I'll be able to allocate to my various bits and pieces. And that is something for me to sort out. That's a Black Shadow problem. It's not a you problem. Man, that's kind of a downer, really, isn't it, to finish this update video? Sorry about that. It's, sometimes these are not the best. This is kind of why I was looking to do this update video a few days or so ago, but I wanted to just give it a couple of days. I was hoping for some news on something, and it hasn't come through, which I was hoping to make a mention of here, but that's where we stand. I'm kind of in the middle of a crossroads at the moment, and I'm not entirely sure what things are coming and or going. And this is hardly the end of Black Shadow 993. It's not like I'm shutting the channel down, anything like that. It's just that the level of content that I'm going to be able to produce is going to be going down. compared to what it was, say, a few months ago over the summer. Over the summer, I was absolutely bucketing out content, but it's gonna take a hit. I did well to get Silent Hill 2 Remake done as fast as I did, given everything that was happening last month. But there were definitely things that had to take a backseat in order to make that happen. So I'll let you know. Pretty much, I'll let you know. Anyways, if you want to cheer up, look at this adorable little bastard. There you go. Don't you all feel better now? I certainly do. Have yourselves a good Halloween, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Remember to lock the doors, sharpen your stakes, and make sure your local water supply has been visited by a priest. Have a good one, kids. I'll see you next month.